So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure and privilege to be here with each and every one of you every Saturday morning, or whenever you're watching this later down the track. We do understand that Saturdays are busy, especially for families, so it's not an ideal time for everyone. It is an ideal time, however, to get great North American speakers, so because it's not in the middle of the night for them. So that's one of the reasons why we've maintained this Saturday morning space. So today, it's my great pleasure to have Luciano Fidalgo. He always says yes. He comes on at least once a year, and we're very privileged and excited to have him again today. Just a little bit about his background industry. Luciano is a sought-after coach. At the time, he had just graduated from university and was looking for more than just one job. In 2003, he found Manatech and its products. Today, he is a gold presidential with 100,000 plus organization in over 20 countries. He's a member of the Strategy and Planning Group for North America, a strategic group that assists with Manatech future direction and training program development. Luciano has been recognized as Business Builder of the Year for North America in 2013, 2014, and 2018, and is a member of the Chairman's Club. He also won Manatech's first Trip of a Lifetime incentive. Luciano is widely respected across the Manatech community, is known to be a man willing to be of assistance to anyone. He's passionate, he's skilled, and he's professional. And today he's going to give us some tips on success in business. And then there'll be some time for a Q&A afterwards. So, Luciano, I've got a feeling I need to update that bio for me. There's probably new things to add, but welcome to our Australasian call.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction. Thank you, Sharon, Diana, and Gary. I appreciate the invitation. I appreciate to be here with you guys on this Saturday morning for you guys, Friday night for me. Exciting to be able to share with people, especially when you talk about Manatech and building your business and growing your business. And I just want to warn you guys before I start. Some of you already know I speak really fast, so I'm going to say to you that you might want to listen fast. When I get excited, I lose track of what I'm saying, so sometimes I go way too fast, where I'm not even understanding myself. So I'm just putting that out there if that happens. Okay? But I'm trying to be calm. So, anyways, I hope you guys can all hear me.
Luciano, I'm going to go off camera, but I'll pop back on when you're ready to do Q&A.
Fine. So we're going to talk about a few things today. But I'm looking at the chat as I'm speaking to you, and I want to ask you guys something. I mean, Sharon just said that you guys have been open for 25 years. I want to say congratulations to Australia and all the people that are building the business in that region. I want to say congratulations to everybody for being here on a Saturday morning. Like Sharon said, it's not the ideal time, but if you see this as an option, if you see this as something that is a lifelong commitment, then it's a great time. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you guys as I'm doing the training, just because I think stories are powerful. I've been involved now in this profession for 36 years. So sometimes when I talk to people, I want them to know where I came from, because I remember when I used to go to different events, I used to sit there and I used to listen to people, and they sounded so great. And the words were just like flowing out of their mouths, and everything was fantastic. And it's like, wow, I don't think I could ever do that. They never told you what they were when they were beginning. And I always wanted to know, okay, fine. You've been for a while, you've been very successful. Now, how was it for you when you first got started? So I'm gonna go in and out of my story as we're talking this morning. But I want to ask you guys a question. Before we get into a conversation, I want to ask you guys a question. Why did you, when somebody shared Manatech with you, why did you get in? What was your reason? Put it on the chat, because I think it's important, because my conversation is going to have to do with some of those reasons that you got in the business when somebody showed you the Manatech business. Now, for me, it was very simple. I was in another organization, another business. So I got started in 1987. That's way before Manatech started. So Chris, thank you for, Chris was for health. So guys, don't be shy. Just put What was your reason that you, and there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. It was your reason for getting started, you know? So the reason I got started way back in 1987 was because I did not want to have a job for the rest of my life, and I did not want to have an alarm clock for the rest of my life. That was my two reasons for getting started in this profession. So we all gonna have different reasons. And the reason I got excited was because I listened to a gentleman who was showing the presentation that night who said that I could develop a residual income that could give me the opportunity to create financial independence and time freedom for myself and my family. That was for me, you know, and it could be totally different for all of us, and that's what makes this so great, you know. I was just speaking to somebody earlier. Their whole reason they got involved and wanted to do something with Manatech was because of the M5M Foundation program, because they're all about kids and they're all about, you know, helping kids and helping humanity, which is fantastic, you know. So there is no wrong answer, no right answer. It's right for you. It's right for me, you know. So because of that, I got involved in the business. I started a lot, and you know, and you know how that is when you fly hundreds of thousands of miles in the plane and your body clock is out of whack, and you're going sideways and your health is going to the right and the other side of you is going to the left. After a while, I started really getting some major health challenges, you know. And I remember I had gone to Turkey. I did a meeting. I think we had like 900 people in a room in Turkey, and this was not in Manatech. This was in something else, and I was sick. And I came back home that week, and I started looking online. This was 2003, and I found this company by the name of Manatech. I was like, Manatech. Now, mind you, I had been involved in the profession 15 years already. I had never heard of Manatech, had never heard of glyconutrients, never heard of Ambertol, nothing. So I started reading this. So I found this guy's website. I started reading his website. And then I was like, wow, this glyconutrition thing is really unbelievable, you know? So because I was looking for something natural, because I was looking for something that was food-based, I decided to buy it. You know, I'm giving you the short version. The long version will take us about 5 hours, and I know it's a Saturday morning, so I don't want to do that to you, you know? So I got involved in Manatech. I bought the products. Within the first week, I could see the difference in my health already. Now, mind you, I was taking nutritional products from some very well-known brands that are very expensive. I mean, their vitamins and minerals at that time were like $99. That, you know, and I'm talking about 30 years ago. $99 for vitamin and minerals. So it wasn't, you know, it was very expensive stuff. But I saw the difference quickly when I started taking Manatech products, and I decided to move over. It was not even because I knew that the products worked. So see, you guys know that the product works. You know, I'm looking at some of the answers that you guys put out there. Chris said, you know, health. You know, let's see, what else we got? We got health, credible health product with a business opportunity. Absolutely. Products to stay healthy. Yeah, business because I'm not employable. So I can relate to that. I was looking for answers for my son's focus at school and his behavior with the problem. Okay. Seems great business model, great science to share. So okay, so you know, so most of you are both, you know, most of you guys are product and business, some are products. When I first got started in the profession, I was all business because look, I was looking for something that can give me the time and financial freedom, so I don't have to have an alarm clock, so I don't have to have a boss. But then when I got involved in Manatech, it was all about products. But then when I realized how good the products were, I like, okay, well, let me go look at the business side of this company. So I went to a manifest in 2004, I think. And I got to see the people that are involved. I met the people that started the company. I listened to Dr. Nugent and you know, begin to understand about science behind this thing. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. So 20 years later, here I am, solidly in Manatech, you know, excited about teaching people. But look, you got to keep in your mind the reason why you got started in Manatech. And obviously my reason now is very different. You know, I've already achieved my beginning why. I already achieved that. So I'm not looking not to have an alarm clock anymore because I don't have an alarm clock. I'm not looking not to have a boss because I don't have a boss. But my reason I have changed, to different things. So the reason you first got in, is to get you going. But then down the road, as you grow your business, your why will change, and that's just normal process of growing. But you have to stay full if you want to build a business, and I know you do because it's a Saturday morning and you're here. I mean, I know if it's a Saturday morning and you came to learn about business, you want to build a business. I know Sharon said all these nice things about me, but half of those things are just, most people are like, okay, well, anyways, I mean, I'm just a regular guy who really was excited about changing my life first. And those of I didn't have kids back then, but I knew I was going to have some. Now, imagine my son is 34 now and my daughter is 32 now. It's like, wow, what has happened this time? But it gives you the opportunity to create the future that will help them to have a different future than you had. So don't discount the why that you started your business with, because that is still the reason that will keep you going forward in your business. And guys, let me tell you something. It is so worth it to build a business. First of all, you're doing a few things. You're changing your health. You because of our products, you have better health. No question about that. You can change your finances big time if that's what you want to do. And in the process of doing that, you're helping humanity, because you're helping children. That's the future. Through the M5M Foundation, you are. I mean, you maybe sometimes we say that, but if you don't get to see it, maybe it's not as visible as it could be. I've seen some of the orphanages and some of the kids that we work with, especially the ones in South Africa, where that's how they started down there, and you can see the difference in those kids, those that are taking the products and those that are not. And let me tell you, it makes a huge, huge difference. So again, I just want to say congratulations that you're in your business, you're moving forward. But you have to, you see, the reason I ask you about your wife first is because that's your driving force. We used to tell people, look, the first thing that I need to know is, why are you doing this? And the reason for that is because, see, you go through ebbs and flows in your business. All of us do. You go through ups and downs. The business is not straight like this. I didn't get in my business to the moon. It usually goes like this. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And normally what you want is, when you go up, it comes down, you go up and it goes further up, and then it comes down a little bit, and then it goes further up. That's how you want it. Sometimes it works that way, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it goes up and it comes down and it goes down some, and then you have to get it back going the other way. And the way you do that is by having in your mind, always in your mind, the reason why you got started. So it's almost like you have to go back to some of the things that you were doing in the beginning when you were really excited about your business to get it going again. So people say, well, how do you do that? Go back to, let me ask you guys another question. When was your business growing the fastest? At what time? When you got involved in Manatech, and you guys have been open for 25 years, Sharon, that's what you said. So when was it that your business was growing the fastest ever? And I can tell you, for me, my business was growing the fastest when I first got started, because I was excited. I didn't know much, but man, did I have a story. I had a story to tell. I was excited. I had lots of people to tell it to. And then those people, when we tell the story, they started sharing, because they started getting their story. So they got their own personal story. They started sharing their story. So what you did is you created momentum in the beginning in your business, because you have so many new people coming in your business. That's what happens. And then we get into the business, and then we stopped doing some of the things that we were doing before. I'm not saying that's what you guys did, but that's what I did. So I'm telling you what I did myself and how I got out of it. I remember I was stuck at a level for a long time. And the way I got out of that level is I had to make a decision. I had to look in the mirror and say to myself, okay, boss, what are you going to do? I mean, you've been stuck here for 9 years. What are you going to do now? Because nobody's going to fire you. Nobody's going to send somebody to whip you over the head with anything. So what are you going to do to move your business from where it is to the next level. I had to take that question and I had to have the answer for that question myself. It wasn't my upline, it wasn't my downline, it wasn't my cross line, it wasn't anybody corporate. It was me who decided, hey, I need to go and I need to change my business. If I'm going to change that, I have to change my thinking. I'm going to say that again. For me to move from where I was in my business to where I wanted to go, I needed to change my thinking. The only way that I needed to change my thinking was I needed to read some books. So I decided that I was going to go back to reading some of the books that I started with in the beginning. One of those books was The Magic of Thinking Big. Another one was Think and Grow Rich. I love Think and Grow Rich. It doesn't say run and grow rich, yell and grow rich, get stressed out and grow rich. It doesn't say none of that. It says think and grow rich. So I started reading those two books, and then I remember it was the end of, I think it was October, November, December. Those are the last 3 months of the year. So I read Think and Grow Rich in October. I mean, I read The Magic of Thinking Big in October, Think and Grow Rich in November. And then I found a book that I never even heard of. It wasn't in that list. I was just at the airport. I was looking through some books. I was trying to find something on mindset. I saw this title. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is great. So I picked up the book, and the name of that book was The Battlefield of the Mind. I had never heard of that book. I knew of the lady who wrote the book, but I had never read any of her books. So I picked up this book, The Battlefield of the Mind. I started reading it, and a lot of the things that it was talking about was some of the things that I was going through. So those 3 books changed my attitude, changed my mindset. So when January hit, because I did it exactly October, November, December, because I wanted to be prepared for January. So in January, on the 2nd of January, on the 3rd of January, I was ready to go, you know? So I was ready. So when January came, I went out and started talking to people again. I started prospecting again. I started talking to people. I went back to my organization. Let me tell you what happened. I went back to my organization. I started spending time with the people that were serious about building their business. So what I did is I drew out my group. Okay, so here I was. I'm gonna put you there, which meant me. And I drew out my group just like that, guys. And I put the person that I already had in my organization who was building the business. And if I had 1, 2, or 3, and at this time I had 3 people that were solidly building the business. One of them, the business was so huge that I didn't have to worry about them. That was my South Africa business with Louis and Leonie. They were so big, growing so fast that I had no problems saying, hey guys, if you need me, you know where to find me. And today, that's still what I do. It's like, hey guys, you know, go ahead. And if you need me, you know where to find me. So I do something for them maybe a couple of times a year, maybe once a year, you know. So, I mean, they have so much leadership and training that they're good, you know. So I took the other 2 that I had and said to them, I said, look, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish from your management business? And each one of them had their why. So we took the why that they had. When I say we, it was me and them, you know, because the business is going to work better if it's you and them together. You know, it doesn't work better if it's just you trying to push them. That doesn't work too well, you know. So I looked at them. I said, look, why are you building the Manatech business? And we you know, I listened to what they were telling me. We developed a plan where at least once a week I was working with them personally. So then I went out and I found a couple of other people on my own, new people, you know. So I found a couple of other people on my own. I had about 5 different organizations that I was working with. And I was always, the big organization I was not personally working with, but they were huge already, my South African group. But those other 4 businesses, I was always working with them at least once a week. See, when you're building the business and you want to get, so let me just, I'm going to assume that, you know, you want to get to presidential, or at least I'm going to use that as my example, okay? So when you want to build a business and you want to get to presidential, it's almost, it's not impossible, but it's very hard for you to do it by yourself. So what you really want to do is you want to go find some people that says, hey, Sharon, hey, Gary, hey, Diana, I want to work with you. And you know what? That presidential rank thing that you just told me about, that sounds like a nice place to get to. And then your goal is to develop a plan maybe once a week where you are working with them. I used to take a calendar and I'll cross out Sunday because I didn't want to do anything on Sunday. I had kids already, so Sunday was like my family day. We go out and do things. Plus, I needed my mind to regenerate and just stay away at least a day. Now, there were some times that I did things on Sunday because we had events and stuff like that, and that's okay. But I was trying not to work too much on Sunday. But then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would cross. If I had a weekly meeting at a hotel, I would cross that night out because I'm going to be at the weekly meeting at the hotel. The rest of those days, I gave it to the people that were serious. They wanted to build the business in my organization, And in 6 months of doing that, I doubled my volume in my business with the organization those organizations that I was working with. So you see, guys, there is no secret to building the business. And 95% of your business is what you think and what your mindset and what your attitude is dictating to you. So that's why I needed to go and change the way I was thinking, because you can't move from where you are to where you want to be with the same mindset that got you there, that's been keeping you there the last 5, 10, 15 years. You have to do something different. Now, what is that something? That's up to you. What I did is I decided, I'm going to go find some people that want to work, that are for real. I'm going to give them, and I'm going to invest my money in them. I'm going to invest my time. I'm going to invest my knowledge and experience. I'm going to invest some mileage with them, and I'm going to do it to just show them that it works. But they had to show that they were also wanting to make it work for them. And if I had somebody and they say yes, but then when the action time came and they didn't do any action, I went to go look for somebody else. People say, well, I was talking to somebody. Says, well, last month I talked to 4 people, and I was really excited because I thought those 4 people, at least some of them are going to do something, but none of them did anything. I said, I talked to 4 people sometimes a day, and you're talking to 4 people in a month, and you think you're building the business? You're not. But guys, again, that's all mindset. It's like how you see your business, So once you do those things, and you have a solid group that you're working with, then you have to do some learning. I'm talking about that, like the new people. But what do you learn? Well, look, there's 4 things that's fundamental in building the business. And when I came to Manatech, let me put it this way, when I came to Manatech, everybody was excited about the products. Man, everybody was just like little Dr. Nugents running all over the place. I mean, they knew everything about glycobiology. They knew everything about the products. They knew everything about, glycans and everything, cell-to-cell communication all over the place, But when it came time to build the business, very few people knew how to build a business. So when we started to get into a thing where we couldn't tell people anything about sickness anymore, people got stuck. But there's 4 fundamental things that you need to learn for you to build a business if you want to get presidential. And you have to get really, 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 really good at it. And guess what those things are? What do you think the number one thing that you have to get good at, for you to have a big business is? Anybody want to put that? I mean, now this is, this is the key, the foundation to building your business. Yeah, Chris, absolutely. Talking to people, meeting new people. And today you can do it, you going out somewhere and meeting people. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it on IG, you can do it on TikTok or whatever. I mean, all kinds of social media things that you can do, But still, talking to people is fundamental. And if you want to get from where you are, and I don't know where none of you are in your business in terms of ranks, and that's not important, but if you want to get to presidential and beyond, new people is your raw material. Like if you're building a home, you need raw materials. You need wood, you need concrete, you need nails, you need, iron beams, you need wooden beams, you need all kinds of stuff. You need, floors, you need carpeting. who paint. Those are your raw material. And I'm not a builder, so but you need raw materials to build a home. To build a solid network marketing business, your number one raw material is people. It's people. That's never going to change. So you need to get really good at talking to people and meeting people. Number two, you really need to get good at qualifying them. What does that mean? Well, you can't assume anything when you're talking to people in your business. You have to qualify them. You have to qualify them in terms of what it is that they want. That's why in the beginning I asked you guys, what was the reason? What was your why for being in the business? So you need to have those things clear. So you need to qualify them, and then you need to show them the presentation that you guys are using to show the presentation, and then you launch them. Those are the 4 steps. Look, and if you become really good at those 4 steps, and you become really good at teaching those 4 steps to people, guess what? You are duplicatable. Your organization is going to duplicate, and your business is going to grow. But before we can do all that, you have to figure out why you're doing Manatech. Why is it worth to be doing your Manatech to grow your business? What is the benefit of doing those things? And how is that going to change future for you and your family? And all of that has to do with the attitude. All of it has to do with the attitude. Now, Sharon, I have no idea how long this is supposed to be. I'm already in a half an hour. So
yep. Up to an hour. So
up to an hour? Okay. Do we want to open it for questions and then we go forward, or is there something that you think I should cover and then we can go forward?
No, I think that's great, and we go anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes. So sometimes, okay. I mean, a 30-minute call is easier for people to listen to anyway. But we're here for you. So does anybody, if you have a question for Luciano, just put your hand up and I'll give you the ability to. I have all power here.
Okay.
It's the only hour in my life a week I'm very powerful. I can allow you to talk.
Okay.
So does anybody have a question for Luciano? Anything that you're looking at or facing in your business right now that you want to get advice on the next step, or how to tweak it, or how to start something?
I'm going to keep talking anyway. So if they have questions, they can raise their hand, and you have the power.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so let me know when if they do ask a question. So I go back to what I was saying earlier. So building the business, sometimes in our mind, it's harder than it actually is, guys. I mean, even somebody was just telling me, oh, but I've been doing this for 30 years. I ran out of people. Well, you really didn't run out of people. It's just that you ran out of people that are in your warm market, in your in your warm list. But there are people. I mean, how many million people do you have in Australia? A lot.
Good question.
Yeah,
Can't
there's
remember.
millions and millions.
Some smart people will say it.
Yeah. There's lots of millions of people in Australia, and there's millions and millions of people outside of Australia. So unless you have spoken to all of them, you haven't run out of people yet. But again, it's the mindset that plays with people, and we begin to think, that, hey, I can't do this because I've been doing it for such a long time, and blah blah blah, and that's just the mind playing games with us. That's why it's important to be listening to or reading on a regular basis, because you need to make sure that your attitude and your mindset is right. I mean, 20 million, 26 million. I mean, that's a lot of people. And so that means that you got to go back to, why did I decide to get in Manatech when I got in Manatech? You're here 25 years later, or 20 years later, or 15 years later, or 10 years later, or 5 years later, or 1 year later, or 1 week later. You're here. So that means that you're here for a reason. Why? You want to have a business. Now look, a lot of you said, you got in because of products and business opportunity. Awesome. Awesome. So Pauline, I can repeat the 4 steps. It's One is you need to meet people, so you need to meet people, you need to qualify them, you need to show them the presentation, and then you need to launch them. Those are the 4 steps that is very important for us to master, actually. And people say, well, but how do you meet people? All kinds of ways. There is no right or wrong way to meet somebody. People always ask me, do you have a script? No, I don't have a script. If I'm at a soccer game, I'm sitting next to somebody, we start talking. I don't know where the conversation is going, but so what you really need to become good at is asking questions. Not a script. You just have to become good at asking questions and being able to answer few questions in a good way. Like if I was somewhere today, actually I went to go get my oil change earlier in the afternoon, and the guy who was doing my oil change says, so what do you do? What do you do for work? I say, oh, I work from home helping people to start their own home business. Just like that. I mean, and I got all kind of answers. Just because it was a random question with the guy who's changing my car, my oil in my car, I didn't want to go tell him, are you ever looking for an opportunity to expand your income, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, I work from home. I teach people how to do the same. He goes, really? Hey, listen, what's the best way to communicate with you so I can send you some information? Simple. If you go to a ball game, you sit next to somebody and you're having a conversation and they say, hey, this is an awesome atmosphere. I wish I could come more. But I got a job. I said, well, you know what? I might have a solution for you. We are solution provider, guys. That's all we are. We provide solutions for your health. We provide solutions for your finances. That's it. When you understand that we are solution providers, then when you talk to people, you listen instead of talk, so you can see what problem do they have that you can provide a solution to. So people say, well, how do you do? I said, easy. I don't have a script that I mean, it's just like normal conversations. Let's say I was 3 weeks in Boston, that most of my family lives in Boston. That's where I grew up. I lived there for, well, a little less than half of my life, because I've been in Florida now more than I was in Boston. But the majority, 90% of my family or even more lives in Boston. So I was there for 3 weeks. I saw lots of people. I met a bunch of new people. So they ask you, so what are you doing these days? I had like 10,000 different answers to that question. Sometimes I told people, I went to one of my family reunion. We had like, I don't know, 150 people there. And some of those people, they're my close family, but I didn't even know them. So it's just like, hey, what do you do? So I tell them, I say, hey, I work from home, and I do that, or I have that, whatever. It depends how the conversation goes. If I was talking to somebody and they say, hey, I don't have any energy, and I can't sleep at night, and blah blah blah. I had conquers of the bunkers, like Dr. Nugent says. It was all about products, because I'm not talking business to them, because they didn't say they needed money. They say, hey, I need better health. So I say to them, listen, I might have a solution for you. I don't get into the conversation there with them. I don't say, well, let me tell you about glyconutrients and glycobiology and amyloids and blah. I don't do that at all. I say, look, this is not the place for it. Why? Tell me what's the best way to get a hold of you. During the week, I'll send you some information. Or I might even call you and chat a little bit before I send you the information. So I use Rapid Funnel. I don't know if you guys have that, or if you have anything like that you use in Australia. But I give him my phone. I open my Rapid. I say, hey, put your information right here. It says put your name, put your phone name, put your email address. That's it. So I let the people dictate where the conversation goes. Now let's say I met Sharon, or I met Gary or Diane, and they say, Diane, and they say, hey, you know what? I wish I could take longer vacation. I wish I could send my kids to this university. I wish I could work less. Anything that has with finances. Guess what I'm saying to them? Listen, I'm not sure if you really mean this, but I have something that might help you to do that. So guys, it's all about becoming really good listeners and asking good questions. Somebody says, hey, listen, I walk into a store, people say, but how do you prospect? I walk into a store or a restaurant. I walk into a restaurant and the person that comes to greet you or sit you, they've got a really nice attitude, And I say to them, I say, hey, how long you been working here? They'll say, well, I don't know. Some people will say 2 years. Some people will say 1 week. Some people will say 10 years. I always jokingly, I say, hey, you must be making a lot of money. Not one of them says to me, oh, I make so much money that I don't know what to do with it. No one. And we make a joke about it, and then I might not say anything right then and there. But just because I opened that door on the way out or during the night, I could say, hey, if it's a waitress, I could say, hey, you have a great attitude. You've been very awesome in your service. I look for people with that type of attitude to work with. I don't know if what I have is, might be something for you or not. But listen, if you don't mind, I'd love to connect with you, so I can share some of the things that I'm doing, because I think you have the perfect personality for it. So, so it's all kind of ways to do those things, So there is no right way, no, I mean, I guess there's a wrong way if you say, hey, would you like to make some money? Because if you don't, I'm gonna, then obviously that's not gonna work. But those are the kind of things that you need to be really good at, and the only way that you're going to be good at that is just practice. I mean, you got to go out and make mistakes. I tell you, in the beginning when I was building my business, I said the dumbest things to people. But guess what? I became really good at saying good things because I said so many dumb things. And after you do that, you're like, I should have said it this way. Oh, I should have said it another way. Oh, I can't believe I missed that one. But that's how you become good. Because if you're not making the mistake for you to think about and get better the next time, you're going to stay the same. And staying the same is not an option if you want to move your business forward. Look, somebody says, who is it? Somebody says, talk about rapid funnel. That was Pauline. Talk about a bit on rapid funnel. Well, I mean, if you don't have it, it's probably not going to help you.
I think that's a US pilot, isn't it, Luciano? I think they're trialing it in the US, but everybody has Penny.
No, we are long past trialing it. We've been using it for probably this whole year.
No, but before launching to other regions, I'm pretty sure I saw that they haven't launched it elsewhere.
It's basically a North America thing. I think there are some people in the international market that use it because they build a business in the US, so they decided to get it because the information is awesome. It gives you the ability to send links to people and follow up and see what they do. Like I had somebody that I sent a video to, and I called them back up and they said, oh, the video is awesome, but when I look in the thing, they didn't look at it. And the system tells you if they look at it or not. So you know who not to waste your time with, So somebody says you do have it there. So so some people use it, and you can use it in any country, and so I'm not, I didn't come prepared to talk about it, but I can tell you that it takes the guesswork out of building the business. That's why I like it. That's why we pushed it. That's why we promoted it. That's why we got Menatech to actually get it. Because people are scared of technology, but look, it's nothing to be scared of. That's it right there. And everything that you need, all the information, the presentation is actually inside the system. And what makes it nice is when you click on resources, those are the resources. So if I go to opportunity, it gives me, if I want to send something to pique somebody's interest, if I wanted to send a presentation, if I want to send somebody something for follow-ups, if I want to send somebody in the US now. So I'm just talking about US now. If I want to send them my website so they can actually sign up directly, it's all there. So here's the reason I like it. I like it because the biggest thing about building a business is duplication. Is you getting the people in your organization to go show the presentation. That's a scary thing if you don't like speaking in public. And I can tell you something, when I started in 1987, I was so afraid of public speaking that I was being recognized on stage. This was in Washington, D.C. I was in the business probably a month and a half, 2 months, I don't remember. I was getting recognized maybe 3 months. The equivalent of gold executive. I was so scared when I walked across that stage that I forgot my last name, and this is not a lie. I literally forgot my last name because of how afraid I was to speak in public. So guess what? I'm not the only person who's got that issue, you know. And the reason I like this is because if somebody gets in your group and they say, "Hey, Sharon, you know, what information can I send to somebody?" Well, we have a little presentation there that they just can click on it and just copy the link and text it to somebody else. And so the system does the work for you, and it's easily duplicatable. That, you know, that's the only thing. But look, I didn't come prepared to do one of those things. But if you guys really want to do a training on Rapid Funnel, we could do that, because I've done tons to my organization. If that's something that you guys are interested in, you know, let me know, and we can schedule it and do something where I can actually give you guys a good training on that, because it's a great system. So it works. Obviously, because, you know, the information is in English, so you don't need any translations. You can use it. I don't know that the presentation is going to be good for Australia, but we can always talk to Al and Landon and those guys, and if that's the case, they can probably do something different for you guys. I don't know, you know, but it's all available. And you know, and if you think that it's going to be helpful to you and growing your business, you should ask. You should ask the company to, hey, because the company can also get Rapid Funnel to actually come and do presentation for you with people from the company, which is even better, you know. So that's up to you guys. I'll throw that out there, and you guys figure out if it's something that, you know, that is worth it or not. You know?
Well, and in 2 weeks, we have the new general manager on the call as well. So that'd be a place to investigate and then lobby him on that call. I can challenge you.
There you go. You know, there you go. So, but look, guys, that's the gist of moving your business forward. All the other things that you need to do is, you know, understand that if you can help somebody have success in their business, you will automatically have success in your business. So people say, well, you know, that's all great, but the thing is, you know, I had an upline that set a good example for me, and you guys, a lot of you know who that upline is. I got started in this business, and Al Bala was my upline way before Manatech. I mean, way before Manatech, Al Bala was my upline in the business that we were together. So what he told me was, he says to me, he says, look, I know you don't want to sell anything because you don't like selling. I know you don't want to speak to anybody because, you know, you don't want to show the presentation. He says, but I'm going to tell you one thing. He says, I will prove to you that this business works. He says, I'm going to give you 90 days of my life where every Monday night I'm coming to your house and I'm going to do a presentation for you. He says, the only thing that you have to do is you have to invite people. Get some of your friends to your home. I'll come and do that. That's exactly what he did. 90 days later, I was the equivalent of gold executive. So that's the kind of thing that we have to do with people when we put them in our business. We have to prove to them that, you know what, you're not wasting your time. The business works. And that's how you grow your business from where you are today to presidential and beyond. I hope this conversation has helped, guys, and I hope it's been giving you some value in your business, because it's always a pleasure to be invited to come and chat with you guys. So I hope that you know, it'll make a little difference moving you forward.
It's awesome. And we'll get some reality on the Australianization of Rapid Funnel, and then we'll come back to you and hold you to that promise, Luciano.
Sure. No problem.
What would you like to leave people with today?
Well, look, I would like to tell every single one of you guys and that are here today, and for the ones that are going to be listening later, it is so worth it to build your Manatech business in so many different levels. But let's just talk about just three levels right now. Let's talk about better health, better finances, and, you know, helping kids around the world. Those three, just doing those three things is so incredible, you know. So find the reason that you got in, renew your energy in your, you know, about your Manatech business, get excited about making a difference in the world, and create a plan. Create a working plan that you can help people to achieve their goals. It's all about helping other people achieve their goals. So if you can find people that says, hey, listen, this sounds interesting, I want to work with you, your next step is go help them get whatever goal that is that they're looking for, and yours will be automatically done. You guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. You know, you guys have everything that you need to build a business. Trust me, I didn't go deep into my story, but if I did, you'd be like, did he ever do this business successfully? It's being persistent, it's learning, it's you know, it's just moving forward no matter what. So that's what I want to leave with you, is that you can do it. If I can do it, I know for a fact you can do it.
Luciano, God bless you. Thank you very, very much. And I'm just going to stop the recording.